All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're taking a close look at a really bold and frankly controversial new vision for how America can dominate the world of AI. It's a strategy that some are already calling a new form of AI imperialism.
You know, when you think about the competition between the US and China, a lot of things probably come to mind, right? Economics, military might, global influence. But according to a strategic vision laid out by White House AI advisor David Sachs, it all boils down to one thing: artificial intelligence. And in his view, this is a race America absolutely must win, at any cost.
So, why is this being framed as such an urgent, must-win battle? Well, the stakes, as they're being presented, are nothing less than the future of the nation itself. This isn't just about having a slight technological edge. This is being pitched as a fight for America's destiny.
And that quote from Sachs, wow, it really tells you everything you need to know about the mindset here. He's comparing it to the space race, basically saying this is the generation-defining challenge of our time. The argument is that whoever wins this race doesn't just reshape the global economy, they become the undisputed superpower of the 21st century. Period.
So what's really driving this incredible sense of urgency? Well, at its heart, it's a defensive strategy. It's all about preventing the U.S. from falling behind and becoming a second-rate power. In fact, one of the deep-dive analyses we're looking at today calls this the strategic anxiety of a declining empire. It's a high-stakes gamble to hold on to global leadership.
And this is where things get really interesting. A critical analysis of this strategy has given it a name: AI imperialism. The thinking here is that AI is being elevated from just a piece of technology to something more like manifest destiny for the digital age. It's a grand justification for some very aggressive policies, all done in the name of national survival. Okay, so if we're going to treat this like a war, then where are the battlegrounds? Well, the strategy is super clear about this. It identifies 4 key layers, 4 distinct battlegrounds in the competition between the US and China. And this table just lays it all out so perfectly. You can see the US has a lead of several years in super important areas like chip design with NVIDIA and chip manufacturing with its partner TSMC. But look at that top row, AI models. Suddenly, that lead shrinks to just a matter of months. But the real kicker, the foundation that everything else sits on, is energy, and that's flagged as a fatal weakness.
And this right here, this quote is the absolute core of the entire plan. Hegemony is just a fancy word for dominance. So the logic is simple. You can't dominate the future of technology if you don't first dominate the energy that powers it. Everything else, and I mean everything, is built on this one single idea.
So let's get into the actual plan. How is this all supposed to happen? Well, we're not talking about a few small policy tweaks. This is being described as a full-scale, almost wartime-level mobilization, all designed to unleash America's potential. The first and most important goal is a radical, top-to-bottom overhaul of U.S. energy policy. The mission is to transform the entire country into a massive, unrestricted power source, an unfettered power bank that can fuel this AI boom without any constraints at all.
And to get there, the plan calls for a no-holds-barred, all-of-the-above energy strategy. We're talking about slashing regulations to get projects approved in weeks instead of years, and pushing aside environmental concerns that are seen as obstacles. The whole idea is speed and scale, no matter what.
Okay, the second part of the plan is all about unleashing innovation by cutting red tape. This means fighting what's seen as overregulation, but here's the really big one: redefining copyright law. The proposal is to just declare that training AI on existing data is fair use. The fear is that if U.S. companies get tied up in court for years over this, China will just race right past them.
So you put all these pieces together, and what do you get? Well, let's go back to that AI imperialism analysis, which synthesizes all these policies into a framework for a totally new kind of global power, one built entirely on artificial intelligence. This slide really captures the heart of the debate. It shows the stark difference in interpretation. What's presented as a practical plan for national survival is seen by critics as a blueprint for global exploitation. Redefining copyright as fair use becomes legalizing the plunder of global data. Exporting U.S. tech becomes building a new technological colonial system, and unleashing energy production becomes sacrificing the global environment for national gain. It's 2 completely different ways of seeing the exact same set of policies.
So, according to this framework, the ultimate goal isn't old-school territorial control. It's about dominating the three pillars that the entire global AI world will depend on. It's about controlling the energy, the blood, controlling the computer chips, the heart, and controlling the software and rules, the nervous system. For any other country, this could mean becoming completely dependent on an American-controlled technological foundation just to compete. And this leads us to the final, really provocative question that the analysis leaves us with. In this high-stakes, win-at-all-costs race, is the U.S. transforming itself into a kind of war machine, one that just pushes aside environmental, legal, and ethical limits to get ahead? The strategy is undeniably aggressive, and it seems guaranteed to push the world into an even more intense, unpredictable competition. It really forces us all to ask, what is the price of winning?